Hey lambs, how you doing today? Hey, I got a neat story to read you about the desert. Remember, we've been learning this week about rainforests and jungles and the animals that live there, and I've shown you a few different photos of animals in the rainforest, and now I'm going to show you something of the desert, and we'll find out what kind of animals live there. The desert can be a beautiful place. It can be very hot also, but in the nights it generally cools down, and the nights can be really beautiful there, and the sunrises and the sunsets can be absolutely gorgeous. And the desert has a lot of wildlife that's really beautiful, from plants and flowers all the way up to animals, like animals that are walking on the ground, but also that are flying in the sky. We're going to look at some of those today. Oh, and some that are going under the ground. What? Let's check it out. Okay? All right, this is called The Journey Through the Desert. This book has peepholes in it. So you can check out the peepholes. What can we see in the holes? Well, now see this, and then we can see other things too. So let's start on the outside of the book. There's the tortoise, the turtle. Here's some cacti. Here are lizards. Ooh, and a snake. There's another snake. We've been seeing lots of snakes, in the rainforest and now in the desert. Okay, and then we have jackrabbits. They have very long ears. Do you know those ears help keep them cool in the desert? They do. And then we have coyotes. Well, those coyotes can be really loud at night. And then we have meerkats. Have you ever heard of that? Pretty cool. We'll get to them and read about them in a minute. And then way up high in the sky, we have an eagle who looks down on his prey, and he's going to come down and scoop it up and take it away and have it for his food. But we also have animals that go in the ground, and we're going to look at one of them as we look at this book. Okay, so here we go. The desert. All right, so over here, let's look over here. Snakes. Many kinds of snakes live in the desert, and some of them are poisonous. Rattlesnakes have a noisy rattle right here in their tail to scare off enemies, and they do. If you come upon a rattlesnake in the desert and you hear this rattling noise like that, that's a snake, a rattlesnake, and you want to just easily back up away from him and leave him alone. He's just warning you, like, hey, don't bother me. Remember, you're bigger than he is, and he's going to protect himself if he thinks you're coming towards him. So you just back off and be quiet, or if you hear him behind him, you walk forward very easily, and he'll leave you alone. It's just when you really want to bother him, or they feel threatened that you're going to hurt them, that they're going to try to sting you, and you do not want to get stung by a rattlesnake. All right. So rattlesnakes can grow up to 5 feet long. Here we are, following another rattlesnake. Look. Whoa. Oh, he goes back over this way. Then this guy's coming out. This guy, lots of rattlesnakes there, huh? Wow. Can you see them? Can you see them in there? Sam? 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's their rattler. All right, let's look on this page. What do we have here? Looks to me like we have lizards. Ooh, look at the lizards. You guys know what lizards are, huh? Lizards love to bask in the sun on warm rocks. Now, the word bask means to lay in and to be comfortable in. That's what that means. So here we have or to lie down in. Here we have the lizards basking in the warm sunshine. They like to be warm. But then, when disturbed, they quickly hide in cracks and crevices. Ooh, they're going to hide. They want to be safe. So the lizards will go find cracks and crevices like this that they can hide in behind the rocks. And then we have geckos. Geckos come out at night and they eat insects and grubs, which are kind of like a worm. So there you go. There's your gecko lizard. They like to come out at night and eat. What do we have here? Ooh, oh my goodness, look at this. We have scorpions. Oh, look at those guys. Can you see them up close? There's 2 of them there. Scorpions. Scorpions come out at night in the desert to eat insects and spiders and centipedes. We know what centipedes are, those insects with all those little millimeters of feet. Anyway, so look here. They have a nasty sting in their tails, the scorpions do. Kind of like the snake, huh? This is a scorpion, and this is his tail. You see it there? His tail. Okay? It's a sting. It would sting you if he got it in you. And the stinger is on their tails. So back here, see? See the stinger? This guy has one too. See it there? Yeah. All right. Also, we have cactus in the desert. This is the saguaro cactus, and it can grow up to 50 feet tall. Whoa, 50 feet. That is really, really tall. And guess what? Many of the cacti have beautiful flowers that grow on them, but some of them only blossom at nighttime. Wow, isn't that interesting? So if you wanted to see flowers on some of the cactus in the nighttime, you would have to stay awake so you could find them, huh, and see them. Now remember, when we have one of these, it's called a cactus. But when we have 1, 2, 3, we call them cacti because it's more than one. Isn't that interesting? Kind of like one girl or 4 girls. We put an S on there to make it plural, to make it mean more than one. Well, that's what we do on cactus. We say an I, cacti, and that tells us there's more than one of them. All right, now look, also we have jackrabbits. Jackrabbits are a sort of hare, and their huge ears help to keep them cool in the hot desert. Well, wasn't that a thoughtful thing of God, our Creator, to think about giving rabbits ears that would help keep them cool in the hot desert? What a thoughtful God we have. What's on our next page? Ooh, look at the peephole. What is it going to be? Is it going to be this or this or this? Oh, let's see. Oh, the coyotes. Coyotes have a keen sense of hearing and of smell. That means they can hear and smell very, very good. The sound of their howling, that's how they sound, well, kind of, at night is common in the desert. That means it's a very normal thing to hear coyotes at night in the desert. Now, you know, we live in a desert in Nevada, Reno. We're in a desert, and I bet some of you at night, if you've woken up and you hear some noise, you might think it's a dog, then all of a sudden, maybe mom or dad come in and say, don't worry, it's okay, it's just the coyotes, and they're making noise at night. But they stay outside. They like the desert. They like to be out living in the desert, not like us sleeping in our houses. Okay, so and at night they like to wander and find food. That's what they're looking for. So coyotes, there you go. Oh, and then look, we have a hawk. Hawks circle high in the desert sky, then they swoop down to catch their prey. Now, where could his prey be? What is he looking for to eat? Let's see. Ooh, look, it could be, can you see that little thing? There's a tail and some long legs. I think it might be a rat. And the rat has seen the hawk, and the hawk sees the rat, and the hawk's going to swoop down. But guess what? The rat gets into his burrow, into his house sooner than the hawk can catch him, this time at least. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, but look who else is hiding over here. The tortoise. Here's a better picture of one. Tortoises. Desert tortoises live in burrows to escape the heat, spending most of their lives underground. Isn't he cute? We'll call him Tony the tortoise. And guess what? He likes to live underground most of the time and keep cool. Isn't that something? Now I named him Tony the tortoise. But why did I think he was a boy? Maybe he's a girl. What could we name him for a girl? How about, let's see, how about Teresa the tortoise? So we have Tony the tortoise if it's a boy, and Teresa the tortoise if it's a girl. That's kind of fun to name the animals. All right. There we go. Oh, look at the cacti. Woo, right here with the flowers. Trying to get to it. Flowers right there. Aren't they pretty? Blossoms, huh? All right, what's going to be in the next peephole? Can we find it? Let's see what it is. Oh, kangaroo rats is the first thing we're going to see. Remember that one on the page before, going down under the rock to stay safe from the hawk? Well, here's what their whole body looks like. Kangaroo rats have big, strong back legs like this, like kangaroos. This means they can bound along very quickly and also leap high in the air. Wow, that's pretty cool. And then we have the meerkats. Whoa, look how tall he can stand. And here's all his buddies, probably his family. Meerkats live underground in colonies, that means in groups. When they are feeding above ground, one of them will stand up on its hind legs and keep a watch out for enemies. Oh, look at him there. Oh, so they're the ones standing up tall are keeping their eye out for the enemies so they don't get hurt and they're safe. Meerkats is what they're called. They don't look like a kitty cat, do they? Nope, not at all. They're called meerkats. Oh, and then one more thing. What do we have here? Look, this is one of my favorite. So cool. It's called a trapdoor spider. These clever spiders make little burrows with lids on them. What? When an unwary insect passes by, the spider springs open the lid and pounces. So he burrows down into the ground, makes his little home down in the ground, but his home has a door on it, doesn't it? A trap door. That's why he's called a trapdoor spider. And so when a bug comes along, it's crawling along, da 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 da, like this guy, flying along, do 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 do, and all of a sudden, what happens? The spider springs open the lid, psht, and pounces on the insect or maybe the bug crawling along the ground. Wow, you know what? I wonder how he knows there's something out there that he needs to pounce on if the door of his burrow is closed. You know what? God has given him senses like he's given us, how to smell and taste and touch and hear and feel, okay? So he has senses too that God's given him, and he must be able to hear them. Maybe he has very, very good ears. And he just senses when there's a bug out there, and he opens his trap door and grabs them. Isn't that cool? Now, who would have ever thought there'd be something like that in the desert? I've never seen one. Have you? I've seen scorpions. Yeah, a little tiny one, but there can be big ones. Yeah. And I've seen some snakes, but never a rattlesnake. How about you? Have you been to the desert? Not here in Reno where our houses are, unless you have a big backyard that has like sagebrush and different desert plants. Might attract some scorpions or some snakes. But if you want to get out and really get a chance of maybe seeing some, you could go out further, take a drive out into the desert. And there's a lot of desert in Nevada, mostly desert. We have mountains too, which I'm glad about. But anyway, girls and boys, I love the desert. And if you ever get a chance now in the days coming up, the sun is setting about 8 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock to 10 minutes after 8, the sun is starting to set. And you know, we've been having cooler days and clouds and sun, but mostly clouds and some rain. Well, the clouds have been so beautiful in the sky, and if it's not raining like it was yesterday, But if it's not raining, you could actually go out and look at the sun setting. And with the clouds, oh my gosh, it can be beautiful. And there were clouds in the east and there were clouds in the west, in the eastern sky and in the western sky. So if you could go out with mom and dad, maybe go in your cars or something, if you could go out, you would see the sunset. And you could maybe look this way and look that way, look all around you, and there could be a beautiful sunset. So remember, try to go out and find that out. It could be something you do as a family. Make it fun. Hey, maybe when you're done, you could go for Baskin Robbins ice cream. Think about it. All right. I love you guys. You know, this is our last week of school. Is this our? No, next week is. Next week. And I'm going to really be missing you guys even more. But we're going to have time when you're going to get to come to the school and be in your cars and drive by and see Miss Nika and Miss Jackie and Miss Celeste. And we'll be able to throw you kisses and air hugs and say hi and tell you that we love you. It'll be so nice to see you. Anyway, you guys have a good week. I hope you enjoy learning about the rainforest, the jungle, the desert. Oh, wonderful things to learn about. Okay, lambs, talk to you later. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Have fun watching that sunset.